The witches didn't tuck anyone in, but behind the magic, it was fear wearing a smile. It was childhood rewritten as horror. The spell was cast,
Parents expected. When The Witches came out, families thought it would be another fun Roald Dahl story, cute animals, kind lessons, and happy endings. Instead, it felt like a nightmare. Beneath the story about mice and magic ran real fear, the kind that sticks under your skin. Director Nicolas Roeg didn't try to make kids feel safe. His world looked bright, but was full of danger. Hotels looked cheerful but hid monsters. Adults smiled but meant harm. For many kids, The Witches wasn't fantasy. It was their first taste of real horror, a bedtime story that bit back. Point 2. Nicolas Roeg didn't just direct the movie, he broke it apart. Roeg, who made Don't Look Now and The Man Who Fell to Earth, shot The Witches like a thriller, not a kid's movie. He filled every frame with strange, creepy energy. Faces twisted through weird lenses. Laughter went on too long. Hotel halls seemed to breathe. Colors pulsed like dreams, reds glowed like warning lights, blues looked sick. The editing always cut just before you felt safe. It wasn't fantasy told to children. It was fear told through a child's eyes. Point 3. The movie almost never got made. For 8 years, studios passed the story around. Some wanted to make it a musical. Others wanted a simple family comedy. Everyone loved Roald Dahl's imagination, but not his darkness. Then Jim Henson stepped in. He believed the story could balance magic and fear. His creature shop would build the puppets and monsters. But even then, the movie didn't fit anywhere. Too scary for Disney, too strange for horror fans. When it finally began filming, it had survived a long creative tug-of-war. What came out wasn't just Dahl's story or Henson's fantasy. It was something new, strange, and unforgettable. Point 4. The story used to have a darker name, War on the Witches, and early drafts. There was no kind grandmother. No warmth. Grandma Helga wasn't gentle. She was a battle-worn fighter against evil. It felt more like a dark fairy tale than a kid's story. Dahl wanted children to feel danger. He said monsters don't hide under beds, they smile in daylight. Editors tried to soften it, but Dahl refused. This is not a story to soften, he said. It's a warning. That toughness gave the book its power, a mix of humor and horror that dared kids to face their fears. When Nicolas Roeg made the movie, that same battle continued, light versus dark, comfort versus truth. Point 5. The movie had 2 endings. Roeg first filmed Dahl's original ending, The Boy Stays a Mouse Forever. It was sad but brave, honest in a way kids rarely see. But Jim Henson wanted hope. He shot another ending where the mouse becomes a boy again. When audiences saw both, they cheered for the happy one. Dahl was furious, calling it a betrayal. He said it turned his story about acceptance into a fairy tale, and the end. Both versions survived. Dahl's in the book, Henson's on the screen. One ends with loss, the other with mercy. Between them lies the strange magic that defines The Witches, a story caught between darkness and light. Point 6. For some, The Witches was a final goodbye. My Zetterling, who played Grandma Helga, brought warmth and strength to every scene. It was her last English-language role. Behind the camera, Jim Henson poured his heart into the puppetry. Every claw and mouse tail moved with his touch. But before the movie came out, he died suddenly in 1990, just 3 months before release. Later that same year, Roald Dahl also passed away. 3 great artists, one storyteller, one dream builder, one performer, all gone within months. The Witches became their shared spell, their last bit of magic that never faded. Point 7. The movie studio collapsed before release. Lorimar Film Entertainment, the company behind The Witches, went out of business before the film hit theaters. The movie sat on a shelf for a year while Warner Brothers decided what to do. By the time it came out, its moment had passed. Marketing was tiny, and few people knew it existed. A film born from imagination almost disappeared because of business trouble, haunted by its own studio's death. Point 8. The hotel in the movie was real and haunted. Filming took place at the Headland Hotel in Cornwall, England, a big Victorian building on the cliffs. Locals said it was haunted long before the film crew arrived. After shooting, staff said they still heard footsteps in the ballroom late at night, long after everyone went home. Today, the hotel proudly calls itself the Hotel from the Witches, though guests say its halls still feel a little cursed. Point 9. Becoming the Grand High, which was painful. Every day, Anjelica Huston spent over 6 hours in makeup. Heavy latex masks, wigs, and fake claws made it hard to breathe. She got rashes and headaches but never complained. Sometimes her mechanical claws jammed, trapping her hands. Still, she kept acting with calm, scary grace. Her performance was more than acting, it was endurance turned into power. Point 10. Many stars almost played the Grand High Witch. Before Huston got the part, producers considered Helen Mirren, Sigourney Weaver, Liza Minnelli, Jodie Foster, and even Cher. Each would have made a very different witch, But none had Huston's mix of beauty and terror. She nearly fainted in the heat under her costume. Her boyfriend, Jack Nicholson, sent her flowers between takes. When the cameras rolled, she became the witch completely. Even Dahl himself said she captured the monster he imagined. Point 11. Many witches in the ballroom scene were actually men. The bald witch head stuck better to shaved scalps, so the team used male extras in dresses and wigs. The result was strange and unsettling. Viewers couldn't tell why it felt wrong, but it did. It perfectly fit Dahl's message: evil hides behind ordinary faces. Point 12. Jim Henson's Creature Shop made the magic. The same people who created the Muppets and Labyrinth designed the puppets and effects. Every mouse, tail flick, and transformation was done by hand, no CGI at all. The Grand High Witch's monster form took several people to control. Sometimes the heat melted wires, but when the cameras rolled, it looked alive. It proved Henson could make nightmares move just as beautifully as dreams. Point 13. The director's own son was too scared to watch it. During early test screenings, Nicolas Reg's son ran out of the room when the witches revealed their true faces. Even Reg realized he might have gone too far. He cut out some of the scariest shots, but the movie stayed terrifying, just enough that kids could peek through their fingers and survive.